It's time for group therapy again, and this was sent to me. I'm hoping your Admins Rock audience can give me much needed advice. I want to attend workshops, conferences, and education sessions such as Admins Rock. How do other admins cover the cost of these trainings? I work for a nonprofit that completely relies on donor giving, so conferences for admins are never budgeted. How can I convince my supervisor that it's worth them to spend $500 on a conference for me when that money can go towards feeding the hungry? I'm curious to know if you have any suggestions or advice for those of us working in the not for profit world. When we ask for advice, we get it. Our first bit of advice comes from Michelle Frame from Nanaimo, BC. Michelle says that before we can plan a strategy, we need to know about the education budget for the entire organization. She asks if there is a budget at all, or if there just isn't one for the admin group. If there isn't one at all, you will have to resort to some of the other options that I will share in a minute. If there is a budget and it just isn't for you, then you need to ask, how can you be part of that budget? Michelle shares that you've got nothing to lose by asking, and you might be pleasantly surprised. Now, as you mentioned in your request, you want to know how to convince your supervisor that your conference is worth the money it charges. Bridget Cochran from Edmonton, Alberta says that you need to highlight the takeaways that you will get from the training or conference and show how these takeaways will have a positive impact on your entire organization. She recommends that you just don't list the areas of learning, but give tangible examples of how you can put to practice what you will learn. Explain how you can influence and mentor the other admins in your organization with the knowledge that you get. Laura Thewelt from Houston, Texas has experience working with nonprofits, and she shares that they certainly do come with their own set of rewards, but the resources are so thinly applied. Laura says that nonprofit leaders tend to respond to the concept of capacity building. So frame your attendance as building your capacity so that you can apply the knowledge, the insights, and the networking to increasing and building their capacity. Todd Sinclair from Toronto, Ontario also has worked in nonprofits, and he agrees completely with Laura. Todd also shares that it might be great to understand how the admins may deliver the capacity building to others as a result of attending Admins Rock, sort of a cascading effect that affects everyone in the organization. Kelly Gaby from Ottawa, Ontario adds that you also might find some scholarships through nonprofit associations that are closely aligned with your organization's work or area of specific responsibility for the not-for-profit sector. Brian Smith from St. Catharines, Ontario says that when you list why you should spend money on attending education for you, be sure to focus on what you learn at the organization and how it will benefit your nonprofit. Focus on what it will do for them and not for what it will do for you. For instance, one of the benefits of attending the Admins Rock conference is a tech focus. Each day, we give you a 30-minute mini workshop on different pieces of technology. This is just one of the 2 hours of content every day. Now, Beth Z is a presenter this year, and one of her sessions is about making team meetings held on video conferencing focused and productive. Now, you can bring back tips on saving time and money for the entire organization. So let's just assume you can eliminate one meeting or save 30 minutes a week on organizational meetings. 30 minutes a week. What is that worth financially to your organization? So what you need to do is determine who's in the meeting, what is their time is worth, and do the math. For example, if you have 10 team members in a meeting who earn $50 an hour, and you can save just 30 minutes a week in your meetings by being more productive and efficient on all the stuff that Beth Z teaches, that adds up to $13,000 a year in saved productivity time. Now, that's just one tip offered from over 10 hours of education at the conference. It certainly pays for itself and shows return on financial investment quickly. Terea Middleton from Calgary, Alberta suggested that you could ask your employer to pay for a portion of the events that you would like to attend. Now, this shows your commitment to learning as well. Suggest a reasonable amount for them to pay, and then make sure that you over-deliver on the information that you've learned as part of what we talked about, capacity building initiatives and all the other mentoring and education and learning for the organization. And Jean Coco from Boston, Massachusetts shares that she has always had to pay her own way. Since professional development is important to Jean, she does find a way to budget accordingly. Now, at the end of the day, the learning benefits you as much as the organization. So if they are unwilling or unable to invest in you, you should be willing to invest in yourself, even if it's in tiny amounts. Now, my tip is to invest in as many free resources as possible and make sure that you share all the learning, the mentoring, the capacity building and benefits that you show your commitment to learning to your profession. So by showing your organization that educating you benefits the entire organization, they may be inclined to help a little bit if they can. Perhaps they can give you help by giving you time off to attend these events without impacting your PTO. Maybe they can help in other ways too, but don't give up. You and your knowledge are important. And even though your nonprofit may not be in a position to help you financially, you need to put your needs first by attending what you can do. That's one of the reasons that each week in my newsletter, I list free options, free webinars, free books, free downloads, resources, and more. I hope that everyone is checking them out and sharing all the benefits with your organization and colleagues, whether you work for nonprofit or not. But good luck.